Just got to wait there for a second for all of these to kick on, but I think we're going now. So, hey, it's Friday night, and that means that it's Football Friday. This is a showcase mainly for AM Plus Money's soccer picks. So if you guys like soccer picks, you have come to the right place. AM, what's up, brother? How's it going tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Not bad, man.
That's good.
So, how did we do last week? What was the? You also gave out a bunch of other picks midweek, didn't you?
Yeah. There was a few games on the Tuesday and the Wednesday there.
Right.
But for the picks given out on the show, we went 3-5. So not what I was shooting for. The current record is 13-18 right now.
Okay.
For minus 3.51 units, but we're going to get that back today. I got some solid plays, 7 of them that I think for sure are going to be some good value cashers.
All right, well, let's keep going for sure, brother. Because as you said, as Ames pointed out, I mean, sports is totally slowing down now here, North American sports, and so definitely European soccer is going to once again sort of definitely fill the gap there for a lot of people.
Oh yeah. So let's just get right into it then. The first game we're going to go to is in the Premier League in England, and the game's on Saturday, so tomorrow.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure it's an early morning start, 7 a.m., I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So the game is Everton versus Liverpool. Now, Everton is 4-0-0 to start this season. They're 2-0-0 at home. Liverpool's 3-0-1 to start the season, and they're 1-0-1 on the road. But what can I say about this Everton team? We've been riding them for weeks now. They've been straight money. The pieces they picked up, they're just playing so great. James Rodriguez is fitting in real well there. They just have such a good chemistry on the field. Ancelotti's moving that team in the proper direction. Now, Everton, they have won their last 8 games straight across all competitions and their last 5 home games across all competitions. That's how hot they've been right now. Now, this Liverpool team, they're coming off a 7-2 loss to Aston Villa, where they just completely collapsed in that game. Now, Aston Villa is looking pretty good so far this year, but that's no excuse. They got slaughtered out there. And in this game, it's going to be a pride thing for Liverpool. Expect them to come out and play hard. They're not going to want to lose. They're the defending champions. They almost set records with the year they had last year. They are going to want to win. They are not going to want to. They're going to want to win, but they are not going to lose 2 games in a row. It's a pride thing for them. So the head-to-head between these 2 teams, their last 3 straight have drawn, and 7 of the last 8 have drawn in Everton. For both of those, the last 3 games in Everton and the last 7 out of 8 in Everton have drawn.
Okay.
Now, there's a lot of chemistry issues right now for this Liverpool team. You still got Sadio Mane out with COVID, and they keep switching it up. Like, I expect Henderson and Thiago to be inserted into this lineup. So it's a team where you can't really – it's not good for building chemistry when you're constantly switching the players around like that, especially when Everton, they've been rolling out the same lineup every single week. Now, I definitely think Everton can match this Liverpool team the way they're playing right now. So I like the draw at plus 320. I think there's great value because Liverpool is not going to lose back-to-back. It's more so pride with them. They still have a very talented team, but I think this Everton team, they are going to be a strong force in the Premier League this year. So I definitely like the draw here on their home pitch. They're going to, if anything, if a team comes out winning this game, it's going to be Everton. So definitely love the draw there.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, that's solid reasoning. And yeah, as you say, how hot they are and how coming off that embarrassing loss there for for Liverpool. So a draw at plus 295 roughly.
Yeah. Well, I got plus 320, but
Okay.
yeah, definitely a lot of value on that draw. I think both these teams are real good. Now it's going to come. Everton's obviously no draws, no losses, but it's going to come to an end for them eventually.
Okay.
So the next game we're going over to, it's on Monday, still in the England Premier League. It's going to be Leeds versus the Wolverhampton Wolves. Now, Leeds is 2-1-1 on the season. They're 1-1-0 at home. And the Wolves are 2-0-2 on the season, 1-0-1 on the road. Now, Leeds doesn't have a loss in their last 3 games. They've actually been playing quite well this year. They had their first loss of the year. Their first game of the year was a loss to Liverpool in a 4-3 game where they played really well. Then they got 2 wins, and now they're coming off a draw with Man City. That win was at home on their home pitch. Now, I watched that game live from start to finish, and we had the over 2.5 and the both teams to score last week, which didn't cash. But that play was a casher because Leeds could have easily won that game. That was a 3-1 win for Leeds with the amount of chances they had compared to Man City, especially in that second half. They came hard, and now they're on their home pitch again, where they haven't lost a game in their last 11 on their home pitch. And they had 1 loss, but it was in penalty kicks. They still drew the game 1-1. So it was January was the last time they lost at home. So Leeds definitely, well, that's dating back to last season, obviously. Now the Wolves concern me here because they're really starting to feel the loss of Jota that they lost in the transfer window, and it's affecting their scoring as they only have 2 goals in their last 4 games.
Okay.
So basically, this pick is just an eye test for me. Leeds looks way better. They're going to be on their home pitch, and I like the value at them at plus 145. I think Leeds wins this game.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, that's all good reasoning. And just for everyone, you can see AM's Twitter handle up there. And for more detailed analysis and different things, you can follow him on his Twitter and also follow him at odds.com. So where are we going next?
So the next, we're going to go over to Spain now in La Liga. That's it for the Premier League. Those are the 2 plays. So we'll recap them. Everton, Liverpool draw plus 320 and the Leeds money line plus 145. So now the next game is going to be Granada versus Sevilla. So this is a Granada team that's 2-1-1 on the season, 2-0-0 at home. So yet to lose or tie. Sevilla is 2-1-0 on the season. They're 1-0 on the road, but their 1 draw was to Barcelona last week, 1-1, which Barcelona, they're not going to be as good as they've been in years, but they still have a pretty decent lineup considering the players that they lost in the transfer window. So Sevilla also last year was the second best road team in the Spanish league. So this is a very good battle-tested team. They won the Europa League in the offseason. They put Bayern Munich to a really good battle for that Super Cup as well. So this is a team that's just playing in very good form. Now, Granada, their games that they won, the games that they won and drew and lost, they played Cadiz, they played Athletic Bilbao, and they played CD Alaves. Cadiz is a team that was newly promoted this year. Athletic Bilbao has been struggling on the season, and CD Alaves is a bottom 5 team in the league. The game that they lost was to their only real competition that they've played, Atletico Madrid, and they lost in Atletico 6-1. Now, Sevilla and Atletico are very par when it comes to strength. They both finished last year in 3rd place with 70 points. So, considering that the skill level is very, very outweighing on this Sevilla team. They're a very good road team last year, and they have even better pieces this year. I expect Rakitic to show up big here. So I like Sevilla on the money line at -110. They've won the last 3 head-to-head against this team as well in La Liga, so definitely Sevilla at -110.
All right. And are we staying in Spain?
Yes, so the next game is on Sunday.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the Huesca and Valladolid game. Now, this one's a real stinkfest. Huesca is 0-4-1 on the season, 0-1-1 at home, while Valladolid is 0-2-3 on the season and 0-0-2 on the road. So they've lost both their away games this year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Huesca, they've actually drawn their last 3 games, so they're playing well. But what's impressive is they've allowed 0 goals in their last 2. So they're playing very good defense right now. Now, Huesca is a newly promoted team, but Valladolid currently sits at the bottom of the table right now. And these 2 teams are the only 2 teams in the Spanish league that don't have a win. Now, I expect that to change here. One of them is going to get a win, and the team is going to be Huesca. I think that on their home pitch, they have a real chance of taking down Valladolid. From what I've seen in the past weeks, they have played really well. They've put up a fight on the road. They should have won the game in Valencia that they drew. They haven't allowed a goal in their last 2.
Mm-hmm.
Valladolid, they've lost their last 2 games. They've lost their last 4 on the road, dating back to last year.
Yep.
And they have no wins in their last 6. So I think that Huesca at +125 is the play here.
Beautiful. So is that it for Spain?
That is it for Spain.
Okay, so we've had 2 in the Premier League, 2 in the Spanish Premier League.
Yes. Now we head over to France, Liga. And the game's on Sunday. It's going to be Lille versus Lens. So these are 2 pretty good teams. Lille is 4-2-0 on the season. They're 2-1-0 at home, while Lens is 4-1-1 on the season and 1-1-1 on the road. Now, Lille has won their last 2 games, and they're playing very well. They've only allowed 2 goals all year in the 6 games they've played since the start of the new French league. This is a team that defense has been their staple for years. And I think Lille is going to put up a very defensive, low-scoring game against this Lens team that's newly promoted to the French league, despite Lens's start to the year. Now, Lens won their last game, but they drew their last game on the road. And in the last 10 games between these 2 teams, Lille has 7 wins and 3 draws, no losses in there. So I think considering you're getting a Champions League tier team against a newly promoted French team at home at a -120 price, I have to take that. You can't say no to that. Lille's defensive. They're going to win this game 1 or 2-0.
That sounds great to me, man. And more solid reasoning. Where are we heading to next?
All right.
Staying in France?
The last league is going to be Italy.
Okay.
We're done for France. That was the only play in France.
Okay.
So, first Italian game. This one's on Saturday. It's going to be Napoli versus Atalanta. Definitely one of the most exciting matches in the Italian league this week. Now, Napoli is 2-0-1 to start the year. They're 1-0-0 at home. Atalanta's 3-0-0 at home, and now they're 2-0-0 on the road, and they're playing again on the road here. So Napoli, their last game that they played was back in September on the 27th. They had a game October 4th in Juventus, but there was a massive COVID incident in Napoli, and the state refused to let the team leave, even though Serie A claimed that the game was safe to play. So since Napoli never showed up in Juventus to play that game on October 4th, since the state didn't let them leave, they were handed a 3-0 loss by the Italian league. So that is their only loss on the year, in a game to Juventus that they didn't even play. So Napoli, they've been playing very well before that, because that is not a game, as far as I'm concerned, that was just a loss handed to them, and that is not a game that they played at all. Now, they've won their last 4 straight at home, and they don't have a loss on their home pitch in their last 12 matches. So, like I said, this is a team that is very good, especially when they play at home, and they've been one of the
Right.
hotter teams in Italy since we came back from the pandemic break. Now, Atalanta has won their last 3 straights. They've won their last 5 on the road straight,
Wow.
and they don't have a loss in their last 13 games on the road. Their last loss on the road was back in December 2019. So this is a team that almost a year has gone by and they haven't lost a game on the road. Atalanta is an extremely good team. They're definitely one of the best teams in Italy, probably the second best.
Mhm.
But I think they have a really talented squad. I like Atalanta because they're not a team that has one star player. They have a solid core midfield and good strikers to surround them. So this is a game where even the head-to-head goes back and forth, and I think you have 2 really good teams going up against each other. This game is going to draw, and I'm going to take the draw at plus 280. Napoli's good at home, but they're missing Lorenzo Insigne in this one, and that's a huge piece. If anything, Atalanta could win the game, but I think the draw is good here.
Okay, and we have one more.
Yes, and so the last game is going to be Inter Milan versus AC Milan. It's on the same day, the Saturday, in the Italian League. Inter is 2-1-0 to start the season. They're 1-0-0 at home, while AC Milan is 3-0-0 and 1-0-0 on the road. Now, Inter doesn't have a loss in their last 4 games at home. AC Milan, they're 3-0 to start the season, but 2 of their wins were against newly promoted squads. They're still a very good team. They have been one of the best teams in the Italian League right now. They haven't lost a game since back in March. But I think Inter Milan is going to get the best of them here. They've won the last 4 straight head-to-head against this AC Milan team, and they just have the better pieces. Like AC Milan has Zlatan Ibrahimovic. They have Frank Kessie. They have a few good players on their side, but Inter Milan has world-class players like Romelu Lukaku, one of the best strikers on the planet, Lautaro Martinez. Then they have midfield like Hakimi, Vidal, Perisic. This is a team that they're going to be too strong. They dominate the head-to-head against AC Milan. They play in the same building, so home advantage doesn't really matter. But Inter Milan's going to win this one for sure, and I like the price of them at plus 120.
Solid picks, man. So, AM, you're going to post all of these in the Discord.
Yes, I will post them on my Twitter at AM Plus Money, and you can check out my articles at odds.com.
Right, and for more details on all of the different picks, you can just contact them on those platforms. And we're keeping this one short and sweet, and I think that's a good format to do it there. Good work, man. Thank you for sharing all of that again, AM. You always do a great job, so I really appreciate that, brother, and I hope that you're getting something out of it yourself. Well, I just hope everybody can cash on those plays. It's going to be a good weekend, I feel. All right, yes, I need a big weekend too, man. All right, good work. All right, have a good night, everybody. Okay, later, brother.